Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cover a tweet that was posted by the Democrat Party's Twitter page. Now, it is my job to monitor all political parties, what they say on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. I follow people I like and follow a lot of people I don't like because it's my job to keep up with them. So many of you as black voters, a lot of you are becoming very sick and tired. And I told you that the people that I'm trying to reach are the sick and tired, or the people that just right there on the fence. So many of you have been asking the Biden administration, the Democrats in particular, to give black people an anti-black hate crime bill, kind of like how you gave the Asian community. What would that bill do? That bill will help protect black people from anti-black attacks that we suffer all over America. It's not one city or state that black people are not suffering in due to anti-black racism and white supremacy. So black people have been asking for this for a while now, okay, because it's needed. We have the documented history, the documented proof why black people need to be protected in the United States of America. But as we have seen with the Biden administration and the Democrats in particular that you vote for a lot of times at a rate of 90%, as you break down by gender, black women vote almost 100%. For the Democrat Party, and we need to also start talking about that as well. Why are black women so entrenched with the Democrat Party? Black women aren't being treated right by the Democrats. Black women aren't being prioritized. Black women aren't being given anything that they need to be taken care of whatsoever in this country. And the Democrats are not doing nothing. The Democrats will give them some token positions, yes. The Democrats will allow them to have some positions in city and state and all that for them. Yes, they would do that. Definitely for them a lot more than they would do for black men. But that's something that we need to talk about, but we'll address that probably on another podcast. So black people have been asking, first we watched the Asian hate crime bill come in. Then we we covered the other week or so, how they created a whole council on anti-Semitism. This is we talking about the Biden administration. Say this is the first time this has ever been created to protect the Jewish community. Everybody's being protected. You have, illegal immigrants coming through the border, just the doors wide open, come on in, and they are being sent to multiple sanctuary cities because actually we should not have any such thing as a sanctuary city. Because when you're not here, following the laws of America, then you should not have any sanctuary. I mean, I cannot go to any country out of the world and just show up and talk about, well, I won't be here. And I don't care what you say. I don't care about your laws. So the Democrat Party, that's actually very talking about the rule of law. They're not following the rule of law, what they're promoting. So they put out a tweet about the LGBT community. And I'll go ahead and put this up. So as you can see, it's by the Democrats. As you see here, it said over a dozen states have enacted anti-LGBTQ plus laws that violate our basic values and freedoms as Americans and are cruel to our kids, neighbors, and community. It said the Biden-Harris administration stands with the LGBTQ plus community and has their backs in the face of these attacks. And before I get to just reading that off here, and we'll cover that, you remember Biden said he was going to have your back? He ain't done a single thing for any of you. A lot of the laws that the Democrats are talking about, Texas actually just passed one of those laws. So in Texas, a person that's underage cannot do any procedure to alter their gender or take any kind of drugs to help alter their gender until the age of 18. When the person is an adult and they can choose to do whatever they would like to do. According to the Democrat Party, that kind of law is cruel. That kind of law doesn't line up with the Democrat values. Now, listen, the targeting of children is a big problem. That is a major, major problem. And anyone who's trying to defend that, you are wicked because adults choose to do what they want to do. Children need to grow up, get their education. They'll not be focusing on that. Now, I remember years ago when I said in a video when they just said, oh, we just want to be married. And I said, the moment that happened, I say they didn't open Pandora's box. Now, it went from being married, okay, say we want to love each other and be married, fine. How it goes from just loving each other to being married to now what you're talking about today in not that many years. When did this come in about the marriage? Was 2015 or so? I think 2015. And now you're looking at 2023 and the Democrats are sitting up here talking about children. This is what they're talking about here. And this is why, once again, I can't follow that party, because look at the view the Democrats have about children. All the issues and problems that we have in America that do affect all children, and this is what you're going to focus on, right? This is it. So that's what the Democrats are talking about. Now let's go back and see what the Biden-Harris administration is going to do. You can see the Biden-Harris administration announces new actions to protect the LGBTQ plus community. The first one, protect LGBTQ plus communities from attacks on their rights and safety. Let's stop there. During Black History Month, the Biden-Harris administration did not announce any protections for the Black community about our rights and our safety. Not one time have they mentioned anything of that. They have not created any kind of council to protect Black Americans. They're not talking about our safety. You just looked at the sister Ajiki Owens that was shot through a door by a white supremacist Karen. No anti-Black hate crime bill at all. It was reported that this woman was using the N-word a lot to the children and to her as well. So that should have easily been added in and say it should have been a hate crime due to her history of saying the N-word. But that same woman would have said something about LGBT and Asian or anybody else, then she would have got hit with some sort of hate crime. But Black Americans is not protected because the Democrat Party is not invested in protecting Black America, because the status quo for America is to make sure Black men and women are not protected and not safe. You understand? And then when you travel different places, and it just annoys me when I hear this, is that, well, Phil, you're going over there, be careful, be safe. Man, we are more in trouble in the United States of America about our protection and safety as Black Americans than anywhere else throughout the world. It is not the status quo in other countries to keep Black people at the bottom, at least the places I travel. Now, if you want to travel to Europe and all these other places that Black folks not running, then I'm not even addressing that. I'm talking about the places I like to go, the African continent and Black nations. That is not the status quo to keep Black people at the bottom. So you're doing better already. But in this country, they don't want Black people protected. We talking about the Democrats, the people that you go vote for. 90%, a lot of you, go vote for Democrat, and they have not committed to protecting you. You ask the Democrats, hey, listen, these race soldiers out here killing us, man. We need to reel in this qualified immunity. No, the Democrats are like, nope, we're not doing that, because they're not trying to protect you. But during Pride Month, they quickly say what they're going to do to protect the LGBTQ community. Everybody gets protected off of your vote. The only thing the Democrats do for you is to make sure that you can vote. Oh, they're gonna fight tooth and nail to make sure you vote, because you're going to give them all your votes. Everybody benefits off the Black vote. You always position yourself as a political slave, because I could talk about this and I will. You contribute to your own oppression. I've said that many times. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep drilling that in your head, that Black America contribute to your own oppression daily. I mean, you don't have nothing to say about Biden and them and the this is like, listen, what the Democrats posted on the Twitter, this is the policy of the Democrat Party. Even if Biden and Harris is not even in office and it's somebody else coming in, this is what they are promoting to all their candidates. You understand? And all their candidates is not here to protect the Black man and woman of America. No protection, no safety for you. You always here being a sitting duck for any and everybody that want to attack black. You understand? But yet you want to argue with me about this party? What loyalty has this party shown you? Juneteenth, once again, that's been celebrated forever ever since I've been alive. That's not crap. A Supreme Court justice, what does that do for black people globally? What does that do for black people in America? It does nothing. One, it does nothing. So symbolism doesn't mean anything. See, they're not giving a holiday for LGBT. They're not giving an LGBT Supreme Court justice. They're giving them protection. They're giving them money. They're giving them help. Same thing with the Asian community. They didn't come up here talking about giving them a holiday or a Supreme Court justice. No, they gave them protection. I'll take protection all day than a Supreme Court justice or a holiday. Because when you are protected, criminals got to think a lot different before they approach you, because now they can get made an example out of on a federal level. So these same white supremacists attacking Asian and they get hit with that hate crime, oh, they're going up the river. You understand? The Democrats are not invested into protecting black men and women in America. But let's continue. So they said they're going to support LGBTQ kids so they can thrive. Yet they never say they're going to protect black children so they can thrive. Black children need a lot of help. Black children grow up in a lot of dire straits in this country. There are more black children in America than children of that community. That particular community represent a small sliver of America. And yet Biden and Harris say they're going to make sure their children thrive, while black children could just be thrown on the wayside. Black children could be suffering and being in the school to prison pipeline so they can be slaves in America. Understand? They don't want black children to thrive. They want black children to struggle every step of the way and hope they give up in life, hope that they turn to a life of crime so they can use them as a slave in their plantations all over America. The prison system is a freaking plantation. The plantation has never stopped in this country. This is why they keep targeting our children. This is why they want our people to be low income, not having much opportunity, because they know when you're low income, it's easier for you to turn to crime, because a lot of times you turn to crime when you don't have anything. Versus if a black man and woman is thriving, their children are thriving, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to turn to any kind of crime. Then if our people are doing well, then that's going to empty their prison system, because we're not doing anything to get caught up. You understand? This is why the Democrats themselves don't want reparations, because if we are given reparations, our children can thrive, and they do not want the black child to thrive whatsoever. This has been proven time and time and time again about our children. They may highlight a child who's getting some scholarships or whatever, but we're talking about our children on a daily basis just thriving. How can our children thrive when you got race soldiers harassing them constantly? Or how can our children thrive when they're being forced to be in neighborhoods where you got Pookie and Ray Ray shooting up the block? How could that child thrive? And it would take not much to help those black children. Or in Chicago, you close 50 schools where children could actually get an education, but instead of letting the community have those schools for community centers, job training, youth centers, no, you want to put up people that come across the border and think they're entitled to get everything in America, and they're not even citizens. They prioritize everybody else than black children. They don't prioritize black men. They don't prioritize black women. They don't care about us thriving whatsoever, but they say they care about the other group thriving. Let's continue. So they say shield LGBTQ plus Americans from book bans that threaten their rights. Well, Ron DeSantis have been banning a whole lot of books on black history. You didn't hear the Biden administration say, hey, we're going to shield the black community from book bans, because it would threaten our rights. Listen, the black community And what we have been through in this country with slavery, Jim Crow, etc., is the history of America. And that is vital to how we're treated, and even our survival is knowing those stories and making sure that we as Black Americans are represented the correct way. Biden said nothing about anything Ron DeSantis is doing. And I thought that was interesting that Biden has been super quiet about Ron DeSantis and the things he's been doing in Florida. He hasn't been saying a word. And usually when it comes to white supremacists, when they're quiet, they agree with it. I'm telling you, that's how it is. They're not going to condemn it, but they agree with it. You understand? Because if he really was wanting to come against him, he could have came out many times speaking against Ron DeSantis. So you're going to fight and protect the books that's going to teach people about LGBT, but you're not going to protect and fight for the books that it talks about Black history, which is American history. Do you see how disrespectful this Biden-Harris administration and the Democrat Party is to Black people? They do not care about your history and my history. They don't care about it being, something that cannot be forgotten in the United States of America, because what they're trying to do is absolve themselves from what they did to us. Because in their rabid mind, well, let DeSantis ban the books and let these children not know what slavery is. So when they talk about reparations, then people are going to be like, why you keep talking about that? What is reparations? Like slavery? What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's a new strategy. Let's try to erase slavery in America. So when they talk about reparations, then we can have more people on our side saying, no, I don't want to pay that because nothing happened or whatever. They want people ignorant of slavery. You understand? But the Democrat Party, that is what they're trying to do for the LGBT community. What they're trying to do for the Jewish community. What they doing for the Asian community. What they doing for asylum seekers and everybody else. Everybody benefits off your vote. And then they, once again, I told you, they want to run witchcraft on you and try to shame you and say your ancestors died for you to vote. No, they did not die for you to vote. They died for freedom. They died for justice. They died for you to have a better life. They didn't, trust me, our ancestors did not go out and die so other people could benefit off of their death. They died so you could benefit off of their death. You could benefit off their blood. You could benefit off their sweat. You could benefit off their tears. They did not die for other groups. But every time you go out here and vote for these Democrats, you are disrespecting your ancestors because they did not die and fight for us for you to give away everything they work for to other groups. And you get nothing. If that was the case, they could have stayed alive and just keep their head down and hopefully they'll survive the white supremacists that day. They fought so you can have a better life. And we do have a better life than what they had because they fought for it. It wasn't given to us by the white supremacists. A lot of y'all are so disrespectful to your ancestors. You really are. A lot of you. You're so beholden to this party and care less about the deaths of your ancestors. You don't care about them because you cared about them. You would actually fight for your own community. You will stand up to this Democrat Party. You will stand up against anybody that's sitting up here doing for everybody else except you if you actually care about your ancestors. See, our ancestors wasn't cowards. They fought. A lot of them died brutal deaths. They wasn't cowards. A lot of you are just freaking cowards. You have cowered down, bowed your knee to the white supremacists on the left wing, and then you just want to go just follow him like a little lost puppy and wonder why we don't get anything. You will never get anything doing what you're doing. Then some of you want to repeat the statement, we on our ancestors. Now, one thing I will say, you're right. You on our ancestors. You're not. And that's not in a positive way what I mean. Because our ancestors had more sense. Our ancestors were more on code about a whole lot of things. If you actually even study the civil rights movement, they knew how to boycott something. They knew how to stay their behinds away. A lot of you can't even last 2 weeks without going for something. You won't even do something for your own personal health. If somebody tell you, hey, man, we need to stop going to fast food. Oh, I can't do that. Our ancestors didn't eat like that and wonder why they live so long. These fast food places killing us, killing black people left and right. Do you know more black people die of heart disease, diabetes, and everything else? And these people are weaponizing the food to take us out? More people die of all this mess they feeding us and what we drinking more than the police putting bullets in us. And where's the protection for black people because of that? Our health is a crisis in this country. It's a big crisis. You are not your ancestors, because your ancestors actually got and cooked a meal, grew their own food, raised their own animals and everything else. You sitting up here depending on the white supremacists for everything. Because you done got lazy. You got lazy. And your laziness is what's destroying the black community. And those of you who are sick and tired of this community just being politically lazy, physically lazy, intellectually lazy, let's call it what it is. A lot of you are intellectually lazy. You don't even want to go read nothing. You don't want to research nothing on your own. You want everybody to hand you something. Well, where's it at? Tell me where it's at. Go look it up. Sometimes I don't tell you where it's at because you need to get in the process of looking it up. You know, my 8-year-old child, I don't even let her, I don't even give her anything. I tell her something and say, well, what is it? I said, go on Google. I want you to look it up. So she's in the habit of looking things up. Why? Because I didn't want her to be intellectually lazy, just asking me for everything. And then she can't think for herself. I don't like people around me like that. They can't think for themselves. Because sometimes I may need to lean on you for a thought. And you can't find anything? You can't do it on your own? No. But we in this position because we aren't our ancestors. That's why. Sometimes people want to talk down on the people in the civil rights movement, those brothers and sisters, but you know what? If you really study it, a lot of them was courageous. Y'all won't do some of the things that they're sure they didn't look at no Democrat party to save them. They put foot to pavement and everything else they had to do to fight against these white supremacists. And this is why I tell you I want to reach out to the sick and tired in our community, the sick and tired. Because I know a lot of you see the same thing I'm seeing. I know a lot of you are tired of them, tired. They're just in the way at this point. And you know that. A whole lot of them in our community just in the way. They don't mean us no earthly good. They the one will attack you quicker than even the white supremacists will. Because they want to fight to stay on the plantation with massa when you trying to do your own thing. They want to pull you back. They want to keep you in bondage with them. I want y'all to notice something. Have you noticed that when you just going off to do your own thing, you're figuring some things out, you realize what the Democrat Party is, you realize that you can't work for these folks, you got to do for self, and you're doing very good on the things you're doing, these same people will attack you for doing that. It won't be a white supremacist attacking you. It will be them attacking you, trying to bring you down to where they at and want to keep you there. They will even attack you if you say, you know what, I'm going to expand myself and be in other countries. They will even attack you for saying that. Nobody telling them to go nowhere. Nobody telling them come with me. Nobody tell them a word. They will attack you for saying that. Then they will attack you and get on this pseudo-American crap. And where I mean pseudo-American crap is they act like this country has treated us the best for the past 500 years. They act like we have been treated as citizens in this country. We have been experimented on, mass incarcerated. We have been disrespected, ostracized. We don't get paid for the work that we do, the right pay, I'm going to say. White folks can have less education, no education. You can have a freaking master's degree and they still get paid more than you. How has these people treated us very well? They have not. And you can't tell me how these people treated us well because you know they haven't. They shooting us in the back 17 times if you run away. Running away, you're not a threat running away, but they can get away shooting you 17 times in the back. And it takes black folks getting on the street, turning up, causing $1 billion worth of damage to get one race soldier arrested. One. You understand? We got a group of people in our community who don't care if everybody else gets something and they don't. They're cool. They have accepted in life they're not going to be anything but a lowly slave. That's all, and they cool with that. They want to go eat their hog maws and fast food and everything else, and to live their existence until they check out. But they can't stand to see you, because see, when they see you, let me tell you why they always try to attack us and try to pull us back down. When they see you or they see me, it puts pressure on them at that time, because they say, wait a minute. In their mind, they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong for what they're doing. And when they see us, it convicts them, because in their mind, they're like, man, I should be doing the same thing, but I'm too lazy. I'm too cowardice to try to fight for what those brothers and sisters are doing. So it's easier for me to get angry and attack them, be angry and make excuses, make 1,000 excuses why I can't do what those brothers and sisters are doing, who come from the same communities we come from, right? Nobody born with a silver spoon in their mouth. We got to, as a people, those who are the sick and tired group in our community, we have to clearly make a separation. I said that many years ago. There needs to be a major separation in this black community. Major. We need a great separation of those who are sick and tired and those who just want to go along and get along and be with Massa. No different than how Moses in the Bible had put that line in the sand and say, look, you want to come be with the Lord, you come on this side. And if you want to stay worshiping the golden calf, stay over there. That's what you got to have right now, because our people in America, especially in America, are going deeper and deeper into the abyss. And if you let them people drag you down with them, brothers and sisters, you're going to be with them. You're going to have to take a stand for yourself, for your children, for your family. And you may have to walk away from people because of this too. But it's better to stand alone on your principles and be a woman or a man of conviction than be with a big crowd of people who are lazy, shiftless, hard-headed, stubborn, stiff-necked. Because those kind of people are plentiful. Trust me, they are very, very plentiful. Those are the people that even the Lord would say that they are a wicked servant because they do nothing. They do nothing. Goes back to in the scriptures, the parable of the talents. Remember the one that said, oh, I'm just going to bury mine. I'm not going to do nothing with it. He called that one the wicked servant, and take from him and give it to the one that do the most. God wants you to do something. God wants you to multiply what you got. What's your gifts? What you great at? How do you multiply that? How do you listen? All the things that you great at, if you turn that into a particular business, and you, especially if you enjoy it, it's an endless amount of finance for you. Go in your gifts, whatever that may be. You may be love to cook. Okay, can you turn that into something? You may love to sew. Can you turn that into something? You know what I'm saying? Do you like to speak? Do you like to give your opinion? You can turn that into something. I did. And I love it. Right? It's not no work for me to do this. I'm enjoying what I do. When I was working 22 years in the petrochemical industry, I didn't enjoy that. I just did it because it was decent money and I had to pay the bills. But I love doing this. So what I'm saying is be a man and woman of principle. Don't be just a lazy, shiftless coward. And we have a lot of them in our community. And the one way that we can stand apart is we demand something. And if we don't get anything, we don't go vote for nobody. Like, you got to respect yourself, ma'am and sir. You got to respect yourself. You're not respecting yourself by giving your votes and letting everybody else get protected. No, that's not the way that works. But understand that there's a lot of people in our community that's on that. They trying to convince you. They're gonna try to shame you. They're gonna use your ancestors. They're gonna use every trick in the book to get you on that back on that plantation with massa. Okay, they gonna do it. But listen, stand strong. Understand you have to get to a point where emotionalism doesn't work on you, that you look at factual things. And once you ascend to the point of you looking at things that are factual and nothing's emotionally tied, well, shame is only used for people that have emotional, like, little spots in their heart that way it can affect them. Once you get to the point like, I'm not emotional like that, there's nothing they can shame you on. Nothing. But let me know, brothers and sisters, about, all these protections that's going on with the Democrat Party, protecting everybody, and in your face refuse to do anything for Black America.